We're looking very quickly at the moment at Tottenham Hotspur's average position against Brentford, which is the midweek game where they walked away with all 3 points. And Ange-ball, for lack of a better word, once again, has taken the Premier League by storm, really. And when we look at it here very quickly, what sort of stood out to me? Well, this doesn't tell the full story of what Ange-ball is all about. But they're playing high, they're playing somewhat narrow in terms of average position. And while they start with a 4-3-3, they often sort of drift into a 2-3-5 in possession, really. You played against them. When you were preparing for that, was it what you expected, first and foremost?
Yeah, it's really evident. I think those were the average positions throughout the game, but if you take the average positions of them just in possession of the ball, the wide players are fixed really wide on the touchline and really try and stretch your back four or your back five. You'll see clips of them here. The full-backs come really narrow and get involved in midfield, and then there's a rotation between full-backs and Maddison if he's playing Kulusevski when he's been a 10, but that's a great clip showing the width of the wide men, but then another one, as they come and attack, the opposite wide man will always make the box. Another two players in the box, Sarr and Skip, are the two advanced midfielders there. And that's the trend that you're going to see when they attack. They commit a lot of bodies forward into the attacks, and it'll be something that they'll want to do today to score, but it'll be something that Everton are considering as well when they regain the ball.
How did it fit the players so well, Gary?
How does it fit the players so well? Well, I think it's all been developed on the training park. So I think when Postecoglou first went in at Spurs, he had a way that he wanted to play, and he's had to educate some players into those methods. So I think credit to what Spurs have been doing on the training park. And what I would say with Spurs not playing in Europe this season, they haven't had too many games. You know, come the end of this season, Spurs will play a total of 41 games because they're out of both cup competitions, domestic cup competitions, where they played 3 games, and they got 38 league games. So a total of 41 games. That gives you an awful lot of time to work on the training park when other clubs, such as Manchester City and Arsenal and Liverpool, etc., are playing in European games as well. And Postecoglou has utilised this time to maximum effect.
Can I just bring you back again to that game that Sheffield United played against Spurs? It would have been, almost would have been, Spurs' very first loss of the season. I'm sorry, again, shooting myself in the foot today, bringing that game up. But you really frustrated them. What were some of the key areas taking you back when you were preparing for it? The key areas that you told your players to watch out? Yeah.
Really defending the middle of the pitch really well. So you know that the wide players are going to try and stretch you. So we went with the back five, and our wing-backs could deal with the wide players. And then there was big emphasis on our 2 centre-forwards to deal with Basuma as well as the 6. So the pattern that you'll see today, you'll probably see Van der Ven and Romero as the deeper centre-backs. And it'll probably be Højbjerg today looking at their team as the midfielder, generally deeper, getting on the ball. And if you allow them to break that first line of your attack, and then they can go and commit bodies. So we tried to really leave a centre-back on the ball and really stop them playing through the middle of us all the time. Yeah,
we'll see if that actually is Sean Dyche's methods here today, Anthony. I mean, we've got to talk about the fact that they've got key players back as well. To have Van der Ven back, that 2 centre-backs is crucial, isn't it, for their build-up, as well as defensively, of course, which we're going to talk about in just a bit.
Yeah, the 2 centre-backs are crucial for the way Spurs play. They're aggressive in their play, and the high line that Ange wants to play with, it's crucial to have these 2 specific centre-halves.
And together as well,
together as well. The partnership is one of the best partnerships you're going to see in the league at the minute. And they have a very solid goalkeeper playing behind them in Vicario, who obviously has got used to playing with those 2 centre-halves, and he's playing as a sweeper a lot of the time when Spurs are playing such a high line. And that gives them the confidence to go and press in the opposing half, regain the ball, and then utilise those players that they have and that attacking quality to regain the ball and create chances.
Is it the best defensive partnership, a defensive centre-back partnership, you think, in the league this season?
I think they're up there. They're up there. I think, yeah. Obviously, they've been disrupted with injuries and suspensions, but I think when they're playing and they're on song, you're going to struggle to see a better partnership.
Can I put you on the spot and ask who's your top centre-back partnership?
I think the Liverpool partnership at the minute, I think they're strong. They're probably the strongest, the 2 at the minute. Like, yeah, they stay fit and they seem to be firing on all cylinders.
I think all the top 4, if you're looking at one of the reasons that they are the top 4, all of them have got strong centre-backs.
Yeah, so you'd agree as well, Gary. I think Romero and Van de Ven is in that top 3, perhaps, of the best centre-back partnerships?
Well, if you look at the stats at the moment, in their last 13 games, Spurs have only kept 1 clean sheet. And you tend to look at your central defenders as being a huge part of that.
Yeah.
So Spurs are a little bit vulnerable, but as a partnership, yes, I like them when they weren't available because of injury and suspension. And Spurs had basically 2 fullbacks playing as central defenders. They weren't as effective.
You mentioned that, so just very quickly as well. Is that part of the plan, the fact that you're playing such an attacking sort of game? Do you have to give up that sort of level of defence, or are they just unable to?
The truth is, unless you're exceptional as a team, to be the tightest defence and score the most goals is so difficult. There is that balance. So if you want to be more attacking and more progressive, you are going to concede a little bit at the back, and vice versa. And personally, I prefer Spurs under Postecoglou because he's saying we're going to outscore people, as opposed to under the likes of Mourinho and Conte, who said we're going to concede less goals than opponents.
Yeah, he's definitely confident in the way that Spurs that he wants to play his football, and there's no disrespect to the opposition team that we're just disregarding what you're going to do, but he likes to impose our qualities or Spurs' qualities on the game, and then we're going to do what we're going to do, and then we'll combat what we're going to do secondly.